Hey guys, this is Krishna. Thank you for joining me in this new video. What we're going to take a look at today is a security stack that small business owner can put in place in their businesses to feel a little bit more secure. For a lot of small businesses, I believe small and medium-sized businesses, they think that security is something that comes at a high cost, but you have some solutions, and some of them we're going to see in this video that definitely is gonna improve your security stance online, right? So I have the website pulled up over here. Let's go in and let's dive in. So the first one that I recommend in your security stack would be Cloudflare, or it's one of them, right? So Cloudflare does a lot of things, right? It's at first a CDN, or I think when what it was known for previous a lot before was as a CDN, and CDN stand for Content Delivery Network, which just made it easier for people all around the world to quickly have access to some of your videos and data, right, that you have on your website, images and all that. But now it does a lot more. It's even a domain registrar. This is where I go and I buy my domains. But what we concerned about regarding Cloudflare is the security options that they have. So over here, I'm on Cloudflare, and I'm gonna go to even like the small business plan, but even just with the individual plans that they have, it's even very it does offer a lot. So even if I go to individual plans over here, the individual plans, they are free compared to the small business plans and the enterprise plans where you even start paying. But the individual plans, you also have another option that is even that offer a little bit more. But what you're gonna see over here, and this is also gonna be included in the small business plan. I just like this detail over here a little bit more. We have the CDN, which I mentioned. We're gonna have Universal's SSL certificate. So this is gonna make it secure for people browsing your website, right? So all the data is gonna be encrypted when it's being sent from the server from your server to the browser, right? So we have DNS over here, and this is the technology that make it possible for your website to be associated to a given IP, right? And because you're going to be using Cloudflare network, it's going to be easy for your website to be retrieved, pretty much. Over here we have WAF, which is a web application firewall, and this just allows the Cloudflare to know who do you want to let in on your website and who do you want to not let in, right? So you can decide a little bit. It can be, you have different parameters that you can set, but most of the time it's set by country, but you can definitely go granular on that. You have some analytics, which is good. You see all the different people, a log of the people coming on your website. And we have bot protection, which is very good. And this is just a basic bot protection, but it's still better than nothing, right? So the bot protection that we have here, what it does is based on the signature of the request, Cloudflare is supposed, it can detect if it's a bot or if it's a human. If it's not sure, right, what it's gonna do is gonna show a captcha, right, a challenge, and you probably have seen it where it's gonna ask you to select the tiles where you see like an elephant or something, right? Something like that. And the thing is, bot cannot solve those captchas, right? So if the captcha, the challenge is not solved, you know it's a bot, and the request is just discarded, right? Over here we have DDoS protection, which protects you against DDoS attack. And DDoS attack is several requests being made all at the same time from different IPs towards your website. The goal of a DDoS attack is to saturate your website, so your website goes down and your website is no longer available to your clients and to your customers and the different visitors, right? And IP-based rate limiting, a little bit the same thing as WAF, although it's different. This over here, you will use a little bit more on some pages that are very critical, like the login page, where so over there, where if you don't want people to try, because attackers, what they're gonna do is they're gonna try several combination of username and password, right? So with the IP-based rate limiting over here, you can say that if a certain number of requests is made on that on a given page, on that specific page, in a span of time, then we can block the IP, because a normal user will not do that. The user will just go to the page, go through the page and read, right? But if there is like 100 requests, that page is being seen like 100 requests in 1 second, something off is going on. So all this is everything that you already have available to you, where that Cloudflare already gives you. And you see over here, this is all free, right? And you even have more, or you can, all those over here, even though they might be the basic version of it, with the small business plans and the enterprise plans, you have a little bit more options. You can go a little bit more granular, but this over here is already a great package. So Cloudflare, this is what I recommend. And the other best thing about Cloudflare as well is a lot of this over here takes place on the edge. So what I mean by that is it takes place even before the request reach your server, right? So it takes place on Cloudflare network, which is really good. It just protects your server and just eliminate those wrong requests to reach your server. So Cloudflare, this is what I recommend. Definitely a good one to add in your security stack as a small business and a medium-sized business owner. The next one that we have here is going to be Bitwarden. This is the password manager that I use. I do recommend it for several reasons. First of all, it is open source, where you have several people. The code of Bitwarden is reviewed by a lot of security professionals. So they make sure that what is implemented in that is is first grade, right? The other thing I would say that I like about Bitwarden is the pricing of it. So if you are an individual, you have a free option, and even the pay option as an individual is also very affordable, right? If we can go there really quickly. So this is the personal, you have a free option, and even the premium one is just $10 for the entire year, right? Which I think is great, right? But even as a business, right, the pricing that you have here, $4 a month per user, is also a very great pricing that we have here, right? You will use this as a business a little bit more if you have several assets online, several places where people need to log in, or but you don't, several places where your employees need to log in, but you don't have a way for them to easily share those username and password, right? So instead of having people every time asking you and sharing that information by email, something like Bitwarden here will make it that everybody in your team is gonna have Bitwarden, and they're gonna have a vault, and in that vault you're gonna have the different logins to the different websites. So you're gonna have the logins to let's say Amazon and the banking website that you use, and the host registrar. And when they go there from their login, they're gonna have those logins and log in easily, right? So there is no need to share it via password or via Slack. That is really insecure. You should not be doing that, right? So this is what I recommend. The thing with Bitwarden, you should be using it by now, right? Back in the days when there was only, one or two logins to remember, right? You were using, or I was using kind of like the same password and with a slight variation, right? But now with everything just being online, we have like several logins that we now have, and all those logins needs to be secure, right? And they include lowercase, uppercase, numbers, characters. You're not gonna be able to remember that, right? If you do, you're probably superhuman, right? So this is what you should be using to not only have all those passwords saved securely, right? Because even just being able to see those passwords, you need to confirm that it is you. But the other thing is those password manager or Bitwarden or the password manager or something like that allows you to easily generate a safe password, right? So instead of you trying to think about what is the password, just with a couple of clicks, you have a safe password that is generated. So this is what I recommend. You should definitely be adding that to your security stack. The other one that's highly related to Bitwarden is the this over here is Bitwarden Authenticator application, right? So those two goes hand in hand, and this one is a little bit new. I don't remember when they did release it, but I think it was just in 2025, I believe. With the Bitwarden Authenticator application is, but with even you've probably seen it where you've heard very companies are considered very safe to have been uh, to have had a breach, right? So the username and password for a lot of websites or for a lot of some of the websites that you use have already been shared on the black market, right? If you're only using username and password to log in on the website and you think you're safe, you are not, right? Two-factor authentication make it harder for somebody or pretty much impossible to log in if they have uh, the username and password, right? And the thing with two-factor authentication, what it's going to do is going to say, okay, you have the username and password, you prove you already know this, but you also have to prove that you have a verification code, right? And the thing with those verification code is they renew every 30 seconds. So this is very hard for somebody to have, right? The so everywhere that you can have two-factor authentication enabled, strongly recommend that you do it, right? Some websites, the thing over here is like some websites might not have implemented the use of an authenticator application. All that they will have will be two-factor authentication via SMS, which is less secure than what we have over here with an authenticator application, because SMS can be intercepted, right? With SIM swap, hackers can call the operator and pass as you, right? And all your accounts is just forwarded to them, and they can receive all those SMS verification code now, right? So this is a lot more secure. This is actually free, right? And it goes very well hand in hand with Bitwarden. You can use it independently of Bitwarden. So let's say you already have a password manager, another password manager such as 1Password. You can use this over here as your authenticator application, right? But it works very well. It's just a lot more integrated with Bitwarden if you go to decide with Bitwarden, if you decide to go with Bitwarden for your password manager, right? The next solution that I have for you regarding your security stance online, to improve your security stance as a small and medium-sized business, is going to be Uptime Robot, right? So Uptime Robot allows you to get a pulse on your website, right? So what it does send you different type of alerts, right, to let you know about the state, a specific state of your website. If I go over here, all right, you're gonna say it's gonna let you know website monitoring. This is a big one, especially because a lot of times you're not specifically going on your own website all the time, right? Your website, you have built it, and it's a lot for your visitors, your clients, and all that. But if your website is down, right, you want to know this before your client, your clients do, right? So instead of having, several clients then let you know your website is down, we can do this. This is where Uptime Robot over here comes into play. So every time that your site is gonna go down, it's gonna send you an alert to let you know your site is down, your site cannot be, right? And you have different type of alerts over here. You have response monitoring, DNS monitoring, SSL monitoring. So if your certificate is expiring, it's gonna let you know as well for your domain as well. But the main thing, or one of I think the main thing that you're gonna be using, that you're gonna find very useful with Uptime Robot, is gonna be the website monitoring over here, right? And especially if you notice that your website is going down quite a bit without any reasons, that usually also means that the hosting provider that you have for your website doesn't have a very good infrastructure for your website, right? Either you will have to upgrade to a different infrastructure that's a little bit better, that doesn't goes down as much, or you will need to change hosting provider. But you can only know that if you have a good pulse on on your website. So this is what I recommend. If we take a look at the pricing over here, they have a free a free option over here that you can use, but as well the pricing, if you decide, depending on your needs, right, the number of assets that you have that you want to monitor, they have different pricing over here that I think as well is very affordable. Okay. The last one that we're going to see for our security stack online for small and medium-sized business is going to be Backblaze. And Backblaze comes into play when we talk about backups. For backups, you already should have, especially if you have a website, your hosting provider should have an option there to back up your website. Even if it's a paid option, I would highly recommend for you to have it enabled, right? If you have a WordPress website, you're probably using something like a plugin like Draft Plus to back up your website, right? But for backups, the thing is you cannot, you can have more, right? And it's definitely better if you have more. The frameworks for backup is 3-2-1, which means that you should have at least 3 different backups. 2 of those backups should be in 2 different media, and 1 of those backups should be offline, right? So the thing over here with some of the backups that I cited on previously was for refer to your website. But if you're working, you have computers, and you have employees that also have their computers, and you want a way to preserve the data or backup that data, what some will do is they're gonna rely on Dropbox and Google Drive, but those are not really it's not really a backup. Those are sync services, right? They synchronize the data with the cloud, right? If you want a true backup solution, it would be something like Backblaze. And if we go to product over here, you have like computer backup, And what you're gonna see is it's gonna work for both Macs and PCs, and you have business and personal option over here, right? So with the business option, what it's gonna allow you to do, you can see on the via dashboard the different computers that are supposed to be backed up, the state of the backup, and as well the different for each files you're gonna have different versions that are gonna be saved for those files. So this is highly recommended, especially if you want to have a place for those computer data to be saved somewhere, to go around to go with Backblaze. Their pricing as well, I think it's 99 a year. But highly recommended backup, especially if you are attacked ransomware where the hackers are going to encrypt your data and they're gonna ask for some type of amount to be released to them before they decrypt your data. With a backup, right? You don't have to be a victim, right? You can just quickly restore your data and you are good to go. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys at. Those were the different solutions that I recommend for small and medium-sized businesses to increase their security stance online. I hope you like this video, and I'm going to talk to you in another video. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like the video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share with some friends. If you're a small business owner looking for peace of mind, head over to vanguardbear.com for a free website security audit and learn more about our services. And I will catch you in the next video.